सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्हृत्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता। All right, so we are in the forest of Anirvachaniya Khyati. So from all Amrita Bindu Upanishad and Sarupanusandhana and all this, from there we have to bring ourselves to the forest of Anirvachaniya Khyati. And those who are attending first time, they will find difficult, but they can get something. As others also getting something. So the story started that there was one king and he has how many sons? What are the names? And Tarkadrishti. 3 sons were there. And then Raja, the king, got dispassion and he wanted to leave everything and give the kingdom to the princess, and then he wanted to go to the forest and do the sadhana. But the sons were very intelligent. So they said that, see, father is giving us all this responsibility and he is going and having this all peaceful, ananda. So instead of that, we also can give up. So they gave up. Raja was stuck up. So Raja remained with the kingdom. The sons left. And the sons, they got the guru and they served there. And then Guru gave the permission to ask questions. Then they said, we want the moksha. So please teach us about the means for moksha. Then Guru said, your desire for moksha is based on bhranti, delusion. Because you are already Ananda Swarupa. Therefore, Paramananda Prapti Rupa Moksha, why do you want? You are already Paramananda. Dukkha Nivrutti Rupa Moksha, if you want, that also Dukkha is Nitya Nivrutta. Dukkha is not there in you. So samsara itself is not there. Where is the question of having the desire for freedom from samsara? That Sishya said, if samsara is not there, why is it experienced? In between also is there, but we are just a little bit jumping. So he said, if samsara is not there, how is it experienced? Something is not there, will not be experienced. Then Guru said, no. Like Rajju Sarpa, even though it is really not there in any period of time, but it is available for our experience. Then he said, I would like to understand this Rajju Sarpa example. That it is not there, still it appears. How it appears? So I want to understand first this example of Rajju Sarpa, where things are not there, but still things appear to be there. And then we enter into the discussion of Khyati. Khyati means Pratiti, appearance. Appearance and the statement about the object of appearance. That Khyati, we saw these 4 Khyatis first and all of them were dismissed. What are the 4 Khyati?
First of all, Akhyati,
Akhyati.
Asatyati, Adima Khyati, Anyatha Khyati of 2 types, and then Akhyati.
All come forward dismissed, and then Anirvachaniya Khyati was introduced. The Anirvachaniya Khyati means Anirvachaniyasya Rajju Sarpadehe Khyatihi Puranam Abhivadanam cha. So Khyati means the Anirvachaniya Khyati means the appearance of the rope snake which is uncategorizable. That is called Anirvachaniya Khyati. Appearance of uncategorizable rope snake is called Anirvachaniya Khyati. Then how this Anirvachaniya Khyati, appearance of the uncategorizable rope snake happens? That was explained. And the conclusion was drawn. That final conclusion, page number 86. विशेष रूपेण रज्जोः अज्ञानं यथा अविद्यायां क्षोभोत्पादन द्वारा सर्पादेहे तज्ज्ञानस्य च कारणम्. So in between so many things we have seen that Rajju avachinna chaitanyam is the adhishthanam for Rajju adhyasa, Sarpadhyasa, and Antakarana Vritti avachinna chaitanyam called Sakshi chaitanyam is the adhishthanam for Jnanadhyasa. And Rajju avachinna chaitanya nishtha avidyayaha tamomsha parinama is, and Antakarana Vritti Antakarana Vritti avachinna, we can Antakarana Vritti avachinna Sakshi chaitanya nishtha avidyayaha satvamsha parinama is, yes, that was. And now it is said that Rajjoho Ajnanam, ignorance of the rope, Vishesha Rupena, means in its specific form. Ignorance of the rope as rope is the cause for the Sarpadhyasa. Sarpadhyasa and Sarpagdhanadhyasa. And Vishesha Rupena Rajju Jnanam, the knowledge of the rope as the rope is the means for removing the Sarpa and removing the correct. So Rajjoho Vishesha Rupena Jnanam, knowing the rope as the rope is the means for removing this superimposition of the snake and also the superimposition of the knowledge of the snake. That was the main sentence. Regarding that, some objections, some fighting is there. Akshepa Samadhana. Acha, what first one is, by Rajju Gnanam, Sarpa Nivrutti will not happen. 150. By Rajju Gnanam, by the knowledge of the rope, Sarpa Nivrutti, removal of snake will not be there. Why? Because Rajju is not the Adhishthanam. Adhisthana Gnanena Adhyastha Nivrutti. That is the Siddhanta. And the Adhishthanam of this snake is what? Rajju avachinna chaitanyam. So by knowing the rope, how the Sarpa Nivrutti will happen? Sarpa Nivrutti will happen by what? By knowing the Rajju avachinna chaitanyam, not Rajju. And therefore, this you said that by Rajju Jnanena in the previous paragraph, Rajju Jnanena Sarpa Nivrutti, Sarpa Jnana Nivrutti is not possible. So Sarpa Nivrutti will not happen by knowing the rope because the rope is not the Adhishthanam of Sarpa. All these things are here we have given the detailed explanation, therefore this objection is there. Generally we say like this only. By not knowing the rope, this snake is projected. So what is the Adhishthanam? Rajju is Adhishthanam. But here we have discussed this, that Rajju cannot be Adhishthanam. Why it cannot be? Why?
So avidya is doing the job of veiling. Veiling can be done of some entity which is of the nature of shining. And this Rajju is Jadatmaka. It is not of the nature of shining. So the avidya can only veil the Chaitanya. And and not any other Jadatmaka Vastu. And here, since the Chaitanyam is all pervasive, but it does not refer to this all pervasive Chaitanyam, but Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam. So Avidya, that which covers this Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam, that is being modified into Sarpa.
But what is the question you are answering?
Why Chaitanyam is the Adhisthana
And
of Sarpa
no,
and not this Rajju?
this is not the exact answer. Answer is that Rajju itself is Adhyastha. That is the answer. This what you are answering is that why this avidya is not resting on Rajju. Why we are saying that avidya ashraya is Chaitanya? Well, that answer is correct. I have to change the question.
Rajju is not the Adhisthana.
Rajju is not Adhisthana. Why? Because Rajju itself is Kalpita. And Kalpita cannot be the final Adhishthanam. Adhisthanam, I had explained that also. Adi means final. So, final Adhishthanam cannot be unreal. The Rajju itself is Adhyastha. So, Adhyastha Rajju cannot become the Adhishthanam. That we have seen, no? This 149. मिथ्याभूत सर्पाद्यधिष्ठानं रज्ज्वाद्युपैत चैतन्यमेव न तु रज्ज्वाद्य चैतन्यं रज्ज्वादेः अपि सर्पादिवत् कल्पितत्वात्. For us, everything finally we go to Parmarthika only. We are Parmarthika Priya, so we go there. All right. And therefore, the question is that Rajju is not the Adhishthanam of Sarpa. Therefore, how by knowing the rope, Sarpa will go away? If Rajju was the Adhishthanam, then by Rajju Gnanam, Sarpa Nivrutti will happen. But Rajju is not. You only said that Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam is Adhishthanam. Therefore, by Rajju Gnanena, by Rajju Gnanam, how Sarpa Nivrutti will happen? That was the question. Akshepa. For that Samadhanam is Rajju Gnanam eva Sarpadi Adhisthana Gnanam bhavati. So for that our answer is when Rajju Gnanam happens means what? Rajvakara Vritti happens. And Rajvakara Vritti will remove the avaranam from what? Now it's correct, sir. Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya. And so when Rajvakara Vritti happens, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Nishtha avaranam will be removed. And when avaranam is removed, then Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya also will be shining. And the shining is Dhanam. And therefore, by Rajju Dhanam, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Rupa Adhisthana Dhanam takes place. It is Samadhi. Alright. Then, Purvapakshi is alright. By Rajju Dhanam, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Rupa Sarpa Adhishthanam is known. And therefore, Sarpa Nivrutti will happen. Sarpa Nivrutti means Arthadhyasa Nivrutti will happen. But Dhanadhyasa be better. So that also is there. How Dhanadhyasa Nivrutti will happen? Otherwise, you will have a situation that Sarpa is gone, but Sarpa Dhanam continues. Like some people go, but their remembrance continues. So then what? So for that the question is regarding that question is raised. Rajjuk Dhanena Sarpak Dhanam na Nivarteta. So that is the Akshepa. So we have to tell, otherwise that took. So by knowing the rope, even if we accept that Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Dhanam will happen, but by knowing the rope, the Antakrana Vritti Avachinna Chaitanya Sakshi, which is the Adhishthanam of Sarpagdana Dhyasa, that Sarpagdana will not go by. So by Rajjudhanam, the Antakrana Vritti Avachinna Chaitanya Dhanam does not happen. And that is the Adhishthanam for Sarpagdanam, which is Dhanadhyasa. Therefore, Rajjudhanena Arthadhyasasya Nivrutti Syadapi. Dhanadhyasasya Nivrutti Nasyat will not happen. That is Akshepa. Rajjudhanena Sarpagdanam na Nivarteta. Kutaha? Because Sarpagdanasya Adhishthanam is Sakshi Chaitanya. And by Rajugdanam, Raju Avachinna Chaitanyam will be known, not Vritti Avachinna Chaitanyam, which is Sakshi. Iti Akshepaha. For that, we are giving 1, 2, 3, 4 समाधान we are giving. इतना जवाब देते हैं दूसरी बार पूछेगा ही नहीं. So we are giving so many answers so that he will not ask next time. Okay, first we give simple answer. See, that is a nice approach. You start with simple. In simple, in that person is happy, we did not go further. And therefore he said, so remember the question we have to remember, otherwise answer will have no relevance. Question is what? By Raju Gnanam. I hope Raju means what? इसको समझिए रज्जु क्या बोल रहे थे. So he said by Raju Gnanam, this Sarpa Gnana Nivrutti will not happen. Dhanadhyasa Nivrutti will not happen. For that answer is given. First answer is very simple. That when object is gone, then corresponding Dhanam also goes away. Sarpa Bhavat, Sarpa Dana Bhava. Because Dhanam is Vishaya Tantra. And therefore Vishaya, the object of the knowledge is gone, therefore knowledge also will be gone. This Swatantra Prayasaha na apekshita, not expected. Alright, that was one answer. But Purva Pakshi said that somehow, but that your Siddhanta you had given. Adhisthana Gnana Mantarena Adhyastha Nivrutti na syat. So what happened to the rule we have made? That by the knowledge of Adhishthanam alone, Adhyastha Nivrutti happens. That is not happening here. Because you gave the answer that Sarpa is gone and therefore Sarpa Gnana goes away. But Sarpa Gnana, Adhisthana Rupa Sakshi Chaitanya Gnanam has not happened. So what happens to that rule? That Adhisthana Gnanena eva Adhyastha Nivrutti. For that, as Siddhanti give the answers. One answer he gave. Sakshi. So 154 was the objection. That how without Sakshi Gnanam means Adhisthana Gnanam, Adhyastha Sarpa Gnanam is removed. It cannot be removed. For that Siddhanti gave the answer. Second answer, that is, it can be taken as second. Sakshi Gnanam Antarapi Sarpa Gnanam Nivarteta. Without Sakshi Gnanam also, Sarpa Gnanam can go away. And for that he says, there are two types of removal. Nivrutti Vividha, Atyantika Nivrutti and Karanatpana Avasthiti Rupa Nivrutti, Apekshika Nivrutti. Absolute removal and relative removal. Absolute removal will happen only by Adhisthana Gnana. But the relative Nivrutti in the form of remaining in the form of Karana, Avidya Rupa Karana, that is possible even without Sakshi Gnana. And for that he gave the example. Just as a person goes to Shushupti, that time he doesn't get Atmagdanam. Still the world is resolved in Ajnanam. So for their objects are resolved and therefore object Dhanam also is resolved. So we did not have Adhisthana Dhanam. Still the objects are resolved and thereby the knowledge of the object also is resolved. Similarly, here also object is negated and therefore the knowledge of that object is not negated but it is resolved. The nivrutti will happen. So that was the answer given. Up to this we had seen. And today we could do so very fast. Alright. Now, so two samadhanams are given. First one was simple one, Vishaya Bhavat, Dana Bhava. And that was in fact further explained by saying that two types of nivrutti and here Vishaya Bhava Nimittaka Vishaya Dana Nivrutti is possible without Adhisthana Dana. Is it clear? So second answer is what? That Vishaya Bhava Nimittaka Vishaya Dana Abhava is possible. And that nivrutti will be what? It is called Apekshika nivrutti. So it is it's a further clarification of the first answer only. And what is the clarification? Atyantika nivritti of sarpagdanam does not happen, but relative nivritti of sarpagdanam is possible. And for that relative nivritti, adhisthana jnanam is not required. For atyantika nivritti, adhisthana jnanam is required. For relative nivritti, adhisthana jnanam is not required. And therefore, without sakshi jnanam also, nivritti of sarpagdanam in relative sense is possible. Alright. Is clear? Okay, afterwards, if you have a question, you can ask. Third one. Still, Purvapakshi is not happy. He said, this sounds very funny that Sarpa is gone, Atyantika Nivritti, and Sarpagdanam is relative Nivritti. ये उसका स्पाउस चला गया और ये दिस वन इज somehow sitting. That is not looking correct. Adhisthana Jnanam has to happen. Atyantika Nivritti of both should happen simultaneously. Because you also had told that Arthadhyasa and Jnanadhyasa, they come together, they go together. Here they are going together. But one is permanently going, other is temporarily going or relatively going. So still we are not very happy, Purvapakshi will say. For that Siddhanta is okay. Now I will drive them out, both of them absolutely. So to Samadhanam, I thought you, if you can manage, so I tried that. But you are very intelligent and therefore I have to give you the real one. So he gives the real answer. He says, Rajjug Jnana Samaye Sarpagdanadhisthana Bhuta Sakshibhanam api Sambhavati. He says, at the time of Samaye, at the time of Rajjug Jnanam, the knowledge of Rajju, the rope, Sarpagdana Adhisthana Bhuta Sakshi Bhanam. Bhanam is knowledge, shining. The shining of the witness, Bhuta, which is in the form of Adhishthanam, the basis, the truth of Sarpagdanam, the cognition of snake, api also Sambhavati is possible. Achha, that I give word meaning. It is Samadhanam. In this manner, there is answer. Samadhanam is answer. What is the answer given is, he says, when a person has got the cognition of the rope, at that time, not only Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Rupa Adhishthanam is known, that we have already told. Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya, which is the Adhishthanam of what? Huh? कोई बात नहीं समझदार okay Rajju Avachinna. And this is very difficult, this wording and all. You have to get into the groove. I also have to be careful, otherwise I also will do, I also can end up doing. So Rajju, when Rajju Jnanam, the knowledge of the rope takes place, means Rajvakara Vritti takes place, then Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya, which is the Adhishthanam of Sarpa, Arthadhyasa, that Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Jnanam also takes place. The knowledge of Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya, which is the Adhishthanam of the Sarpa, Arthadhyasa also takes place. That was explained where? 151. Now he says, when there is knowledge, cognition of the rope, that time knowledge of or the shining of even the Sakshi Chaitanyam, which is the Adhishthanam of Sarpagdanam, Dhanadhyasa, that also takes place. When knowledge of rope takes place, at that time the Bhanam, shining of Sakshi Chaitanyam, which is the Adhishthanam of Sarpagdanam, Dhanadhyasa, that also takes place. So, yes. Alright. So that also is possible. How it is possible, he will explain. He will use Prakriya, Vedanta Paribhasha Prakriya he uses. Okay. And by that, what is the answer given? Therefore, when Rajyug Danam takes place, not only the Sarpa Nivrutti will happen, Sarpa Dana Nivrutti will happen. Why? Sarpa Nivrutti happens because the Adhishthanam of Sarpa, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Danam takes place. When Rajyug Danam takes place, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya Danam also takes place. And this, when Rajyug Danam takes place, then Sakshi Chaitanya Prakasha, Bhan also happens. And Sakshi Chaitanya is the Adhishthanam of Sarpak Danam. And therefore Adhisthana Danam has happened, therefore Adhyastha, Sarpak Dana, Dana Dhyasa, that also will go away. Alright, that is the idea. Athava Sarpaha Tad Danam Cha Iti Ubhayamapi Rajyug Danena Eva Nivartate. Another third Samadhanam. Sarpaha, snake, Tad Danam, its cognition, Chamis and snake and its cognition, Ubhayamapi, both of them, Rajyug Danena Eva, by the knowledge of the rope itself, Nivartate, goes away. By the knowledge of the rope itself, the snake, Arthadhyasa, Taddanam, Dhanadhyasa, both of them go away. That is a pratigna. It is a pratigna vakya. Now, tathahi, explanation follows. Explanation is given now. How it happens? Rajju sakshatkara samaye antakaranam netradvara bahihi nirgatya rajju desham prapya tat samanakara bhavati. So what is said? We have seen this idea. Yatharth Danam, when it happens, this is what happens. Rajju Sakshatkara Samay. At the time of the direct perception of the rope, Antakaranam, the mind, Netra Dwara, through the eyes, Bahihi Nirgatya, having gone outside, Rajju Desham Prapya, having attained the place of the rope. Place of the rope is where the rope is, that place. Rajju Avachinna Desha is called Rajju Desha. Rajju Desha Prapya Tat Samanakara Bhavati. Tat Samanakara should be Tat Samanakaram should be. Tat Samanakara Bhavati. Antakarana Bhavati becomes. What it becomes? Tat Samanakara. Tat Samanakaram. Having the same form as the rope. Tat refers to Rajju. Rajju Samanakara Bhavati. Means Antakarana assumes the form of the rope. In other words, Rajvakara Bhavati. Tat Samanakara Bhavati means Rajvakara Bhavati. Alright. So Antakarana goes out through the eyes and assumes the form of the rope. Ataha Rajju Sakshatkara Samaye. Therefore, means since this is the case that Antakarana goes to Rajju Desha and its Samanakara Bhavati, Samanakaram Bhavati, therefore, Rajju Sakshatkara Samaye, at the time of the direct perception of the rope, Mrityupahita Chaitanyam, the consciousness conditioned by the Vritti, Upahita means condition. The consciousness conditioned by the thought and Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam cha, and the consciousness conditioned by the rope, Ubhayam api, both of them, Eki Bhavati, become one. Na tayoho asti bhedaha. There is no difference between them. Acha. What it wants to say is, when the Antakarana is assuming the form of the Rajju, then there is a Chaitanyam, consciousness, which is conditioned by the Vritti. Because behind everything there is consciousness. So behind the Antakarana there is a consciousness, behind Vritti also there is a consciousness. So Vritti Upahita Chaitanyam. Technically it is called Pramana Chaitanyam. The Pramana Chaitanyam and so consciousness conditioned by the thought of what? Rajju Vritti. So Vritti Upahita Chaitanyam, otherwise called Pramana Chaitanyam, and Rajupahita Chaitanyam, consciousness which is conditioned by the rope, technically it's called Prameya Chaitanyam or Vishaya Chaitanyam. Both of them become one. Mrityupahita Chaitanya and Rajupahita Chaitanyam, both of become one because the Antakarana is going exactly where the Rajju is. So where the Rajju is, there alone Antakarana is. And therefore Avachedaka, the conditioning factors are in the same place. Therefore conditioned consciousness also become one. So because of the conditioning factors being in the same place, the conditioned consciousness become one. Na tayoho asti bhedaha. There is no difference whatsoever. Alright. And therefore what will happen? Rajju avachinna chaitanyam is known by Rajju Gnanam, you already accepted. And Rajju avachinna chaitanyam and the Mrityupaita chaitanyam, both are one. Therefore Rajjupaita chaitanyam is known. Therefore Tadabhinna Mrityupaita chaitanyam also known. And Mrityupaita chaitanyam alone is Sakshi chaitanyam. Sakshi chaitanyam alone is Sarpagdanadhishthanam. And therefore when Rajju Jnanam happens, Rajjupaita Chaitanya Jnanam happens, and Tadabhinna, the Mrityupaita Chaitanya, Sakshi Chaitanya, which is the Adhishthanam of Sarpagdanam, that also takes place. And therefore Adhisthana Jnanam has taken place, and therefore Adhyastha Nivrutti. Adhyastha Nivrutti means what? Kasya Nivrutti? Here.
Sarpagyan. Sarpagyan.
Sarpagdanadhyasa nivrittihi bhavati. Good. Now slowly becoming alert. Alright. Now he gives little technical details. Atra ayam hetu. In this regard, this is the reason. Acha, in which regard? In this regard. Tayoho. Tayoho means what? Mrityupahita chaitanya, Rajjupahita chaitanya yoho, vedaha na asti. Between the consciousness conditioned by the thought and consciousness conditioned by the rope, there is no difference. Atra, with regard to this fact, ayam hetu, this following is the reason. So what is the reason? That he gives very nicely explained. Nahi kvachidapi chaitanyasya asti bhedaha swarupatah. Indeed, it is well known in Shastra that kvachidapi, anywhere, chaitanyasya of consciousness, bhedaha, difference, swarupataha, intrinsically, from the standpoint of the nature, na asti is not there. Means consciousness is one and the same everywhere intrinsically. Means consciousness swarupataha, by itself it is one and the same everywhere. We have expressed the word nirvikalpam in Amrita Bindu. We studied nirvikalpam, nishkalam, if you remember. Swamiji, now Vichara Sagara we are remembering. So a consciousness by itself is ever free from division. Swarupataha chaitanyasya vedaha nasti. This is Siddhanta. Kintu upadi nibandhanaha eva saha. Saha kaha bhedaha. That bheda, the division is kintu, but that division is nibandhanaha, based on upadhi, conditioning factor. In consciousness, there is no intrinsic difference whatsoever anywhere. But the division is apparent division, and that apparent division is based on upadhi, adjunct, conditioning factors. In simple words, chaitanyasya swarupatah bhedaha nasti, upadhitah eva bhedaha asti. Based on the conditioning factor alone, there is an experience of bheda. Like Akasha. Akasha by itself is free from division. Whatever division we talk about Akasha is always based on upadhi. Akashavat chaitanyasya swarupatah bheda nasti, upadhi nibandhanaha. Based on upadhi alone, there is division. Alright. Now, Mrityupahita Chaitanyasya. This is general Siddhanta I gave. Now application of that Siddhanta. Mrityupahita Chaitanyasya Rajjupahita Chaitanyasya cha Bheda Prayojakopadihi Vrittihi Rajjuhu cha. He says Bheda Prayojaka Upadihi. The conditioning factor. Upadi means conditioning factor. Which is Prayojaka, basis, the cause for Bheda, division. So the conditioning factor which is the cause for the Bheda, apparent division between what? Mrityupahita Chaitanyam, consciousness conditioned by the thought, and Rajjupahita Chaitanyam, consciousness conditioned by the rope. Between the Mrityupahita Chaitanya and Rajjupahita Chaitanyam, whatever Bheda is experienced is because of this conditioning factor. And what are those conditioning factors? Vrittihi Rajjuhu cha. So conditioning factor causing the differences, apparent differences between the Mrityupahita Chaitanyam and Rajjupahita Chaitanyam. What are they? Vrittihi Rajjuhu cha. The thought and the rope. In simple words, because of these two Upadi, Vritti and Rajju, because of these two Upadi alone, Chaitanyam appears to be different. In which manner? One consciousness is appearing as a Vrityupahita Chaitanyam, other consciousness is appearing as a Rajjupahita Chaitanyam. So the distinguishing factor or distinction, basis for the distinction is in the form of Vritti Upadi, Rajju Upadi. Alright. Yada Vrittihi Rajjuhu cha iti upadidvayam vivinna deshastham tada tadupahita chaitanyayoho bhedaha siddhyati. Further, yada when Vrittihi Rajjuhu cha iti upadidvayam. These two conditioning factors, upadidvayam is these two conditioning factors, Vritti, the thought, Rajjuhu, the rope, Vibhinna deshastham. These two upadis, when they are obtaining in two different places, Vibhinna deshastha, obtaining in two different places, tada, then tadupahita chaitanyayoho bhedaha siddhyati. Then the bhedaha, the division between the consciousness conditioned by them. Them means what? Rajju and Vritti. So when the Rajju is in one place and this Vritti is another place, then Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam and Vritti Upahita Chaitanyam, they will be considered to be different. So Bhedaha, the difference between the consciousness conditioned by the rope and consciousness conditioned by the Vritti is established. Siddhyati means is established, is accepted. When both the Upadis are in different place. Rajju is outside and Vritti is inside. At that time, the Vritti Upahita Chaitanyam and Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam, they are considered to be different. The difference between them is accepted. Siddhyati is established, is accepted. Yadatu, but, to means but, yada, when, upadyoho ekadeshasthatvam bhavati. When both the upadis are obtaining in one place. Ekadeshasthatvam bhavati is a technical way in the style of Sanskrit grammar, Sanskrit language. When the upadis are obtaining in one place alone, both the upadis means very good. Vritti and Rajju, both of them are obtaining in one place. That time what? Tada, that time na upahita chaitanyayoho bhedaha. That time there will not be difference between the upahita chaitanyam, conditioned consciousness. But now what are the two conditioned consciousness? Very good. So these two consciousness will have Bheda or Abheda? When
both of them are ekadeshas, the upadis, two upadis are ekadeshas.
Very good, very good. So when two upadis are in one place, that time the difference between the Upahita Chaitanyam will not be accepted. Alright. And here, and he just referred that, where are you reading from? Ayam Arthaha, this idea, Vedanta Paribhashadi Grantheshu Prasiddha. In Vedanta Paribhasha, etc., maybe Vritti Prabhakara, etc., it is well known. Well known. So we well known. See, I will just give you the reference. In Vedanta Paribhasha, there is a book, a Kailash Ashram book is there, page number 34, that this idea is given. The topic is, anyway, I should not give you too much diversion, but I will just one little bit mention. Topic is that how, on what basis any knowledge is considered to be perception. We think we simple Swami Indriya Janya Jnanam Pratyaksha. That is very, what is called primary. It's a primary way of looking at perception. If you say like this, if you say, Swamiji, what we see, what we hear, that is perception, Swamiji. That is, what about Sukha? What about your emotions? Is it Pratyaksha or not? When you have experience of Sukha, when you have experience of Dukkha, it is a Pratyaksha Jnanam or Paroksha Jnanam? You answer two options only are there. Pratyaksha or Paroksha?
Pratyaksha.
Pratyaksha. But is it Indriya Janya? So your definition doesn't fit in. Indriya Janya Jnanam Pratyaksham. बड़ा जोर जोर से रेड और रेड तो नहीं करेंगे, येलो करके वो हाईलाइट. It's not correct because the Sukha is not a Indriya Janya Jnana. Therefore, he said, then how do we decide that this knowledge is direct perception or not? That is a Shrudu. I will tell you two ways. One is when Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam become one, then that Jnanam will be called Pratyaksha. Pratyakshatva Prayojaka Kim? Pramana Chaitanyasya Vishayavachidna Chaitanya Bhedaha. That is how it is explained there. So it is a different ball game. So, alright. In that, this particular idea is come. That Pramana Chaitanyam is Mrityupaita Chaitanyam. And this Vishayavachidna Chaitanyam, Rajjuvavachidna Chaitanyam, that is called Prameya or Vishayavachidna Chaitanyam. When they are becoming one, then that Jnanam will be called Pratyaksha. So when Pramana Chaitanya and Prameya Chaitanyam or Vishaya Chaitanyam become one, then that knowledge will be called Pratyaksha. And in that connection, how they become one? Pramana Chaitanya means Pramana Chaitanyam. Pramana Chaitanyam means Vrityupaita Chaitanyam or Vrityavachidna Chaitanyam is called Pramana Chaitanyam. And Vishayavachidna, Gatadi Avachidna Chaitanyam is called Vishayavachidna Chaitanyam. How they become one? He said in this situation they become one. When Antakrana Vritti Upaita Chaitanyam goes out and Vishayavachidna goes to the place where Vishaya is there, then Vishayavachidna Chaitanyam and Antakrana Avachidna Chaitanyam, Vritti Avachidna Chaitanyam, not Antakrana, Vritti Avachidna Chaitanyam become one. How they become one? Because their Avachedaka, their Upadhi for two Chaitanyam are obtaining in the same place. And therefore they become one. Therefore, that Jnanam is Pratyaksha. Alright, so that is what Ayam Arthaha Vedanta Paribhashadi Grantheshu Prasiddha. And he gives little bit glimpse of what is there. Vibhinna Deshastha Upadibhyam Eva Upahita Chaitanyayoho Bhedaha Kalpyate. In Vedanta Paribhasha, it is said Vibhajakayoho api antakrana vritti gatade vishayoho ekadeshasthaitvena Vedajanakatvat, etc. So he is just giving what is there in his simple language. Simple language. So he said Vibhinna Deshastha Upadibhyam Eva Upahita Chaitanyayoho Bhedaha Kalpyate. The division kalpyate is imagined, provisionally accepted, empirically accepted. Of what? Division of what? Upahita chaitanyayoho, of the conditioned consciousness. Conditioned by what? Conditioned by the upadhi, conditioning factors. So the division between the two conditioned consciousness is accepted based on the upadhi. Two upadhis. What are the upadhis? But what type of upadhi? Vibhinna deshastha. The upadhis which are obtaining in different places. So the difference between conditioned consciousness is accepted based on these two upadhis which are obtaining in two different places. That's what is saying. Kalpyate. Dvayoho api upadyoho ekadeshasthatve tu ताभ्याम उपहित चैतन्यम अपि एकमेव सिद्ध्यति. Tu, however, dvayoho api upadyoho, when both the upadhis ekadeshasthatve, when they are obtaining in one place, when both the upadhis, here in this case Rajju and Vritti, both of them are obtaining in one place, then Tabhyam Upahitam Chaitanyam, the consciousness which is conditioned by these two upadhis, Ekameva, is one alone, it is Siddhyati. In this manner it is established. Means these upadhis, conditioning factors have to be in different places, then only they can establish provisional differences in consciousness. If they are in one place, then they are not considered to be these distinguishing factors. Then the Chaitanyam, conditioned by both of them, will be considered one. Alright. Therefore, if one big pot is there, okay, we have one pot on this door. We can drink one pot next. One pot is there. Then this is called Gata. Idam Gatavachinna Akasha. And there is a small pot. Then this Tad Gatavachinna Akasha. But when this goes into this, then Upadhi, it has gone into this pot, has gone, the small pot has gone into the big pot, then the Gatavachinna Akasha are not considered different. Ghata is the small pot is contained in the big pot, then the space conditioned by the small pot is not considered to be different from the space conditioned by big pot. That is how it is. So when ekadeshastha they become, then it is they no more becoming distinguishing factors. The upadhis are distinguishing factors as long as they are in different places. When they obtain in the same place, then these upadhis, conditioning factors, are not considered to be distinguishing factors. That is what is said here. Vrittyupaita chaitanyam cha etadubhayam. Okay. Dvayoho api upadyoho ekadeshasthatve tu tabhyam upahitam chaitanyam ekameva siddhyati. Now he brings into Dashtanta, our main matter. Ukta ritya. By this method, by the method mentioned in the previous sentences, Rajju Sakshatkara Dashayam. In the state of the direct perception of the rope, Rajju Upaita Chaitanyam, Vritti Upaita Chaitanyam cha etad ubhayam eki bhavati. The consciousness conditioned by the rope and the consciousness conditioned by the thought, both of them, etad ubhayam, both of them, or both these both, eki bhavati, become one. Tatra, okay. Why they become one? Because their conditioning factors are obtaining in one place. Which place? Rajju Deshe. Antakarana, Vritti Avachinna Chaitanyam and this Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam, both of them are obtaining in one place. What is the one place? Rajju Desha. So in Rajju Desha, Rajju avachinna chaitanyam is there, Antakarana vritti avachinna chaitanyam is there. Both of them are in one place. Therefore, they will not be considered, this chaitanyam, conditioned consciousness will not be considered different. Acha. Now, but he said, what happened to our Sakshi Chaitanyam? Sakshi Chaitanyam is Adhishthanam for Sarpajnanam. So, Sakshi Chaitanyam did not come into the picture. There is a Tatra there. Sakshi Chaitanyam eva Mrityupaita Chaitanyam iti uchyate. There means in that situation, Sakshi Chaitanyam alone, the witness consciousness alone, is called Mrityupaita Chaitanya. The consciousness conditioned by the vritti. Alright. Why? Antakarane tad vrittau cha sthitva api asangataya tayoho avabhasaka chaitanya matrasya sakshitva abhidhana. बोले साक्षी का कोई सिंग नहीं होता है. It doesn't have horns or something. What is sakshi? He said this is sakshi. Sakshi antakarane, not sakshi. Antakarane tad vrittau cha sthitva. The consciousness sthitva, remaining, antakarane, in the mind, tad vrittaucha, and its thought. The consciousness remaining in the mind and its thought, even though it is remaining, sthitva api, even though remaining in the antakarana, obtaining in the antakarana and its thought, asangataya, as unaffected, tayoho avabhasaka chaitanya matra, the consciousness which is illumining both of them without being affected, that consciousness alone, sakshitva abhidhana, is called sakshi. Abhidhana means name. That consciousness alone is given the name sakshi. Means what? Let me tell you in simple words. So the consciousness which is obtaining in antakarana and antakarana vritti and illumining both of them without being affected by both of them, that consciousness alone is called Sakshi Chaitanya. So Sakshi Chaitanyam, the witness consciousness, is the consciousness which is obtaining in the mind and its thought, illumining both of them without getting affected. That consciousness alone is called Sakshi Chaitanya. And Antakarana Vritti Upaita Chaitanyam is like that only. That's what he said. Uktaritya. By the method they said. Okay, before that let me explain. And thus, Vritti Upaita Chaitanyam alone is Sakshi Chaitanya. Because Hetu is there. Since this the Chaitanyam which is obtaining in Antakarana Vritti and illumining them, that alone is the Sakshi. And Vritti Upaita Chaitanyam is doing the same job, obtaining in both and illumining both, and therefore Mrityupaita Chaitanyam alone is Sakshi. Okay, that Sakshitva Abhidhanat kim? Sakshi Chaitanyam eva Mrityupaita Chaitanyam iti uchyate. That is a Hetumat. Sakshitva Abhidhanat is Hetu. Is it clear? Hetu mat? Okay. Uktaritya. Now further. By the method, by the way it has been told, Rajju Sakshatkara Samaye, at the time of direct perception of the rope, Sakshi Chaitanyasya, Rajju Upaita Chaitanyasya cha Abhedaha Siddhaha. So earlier what was said? That Vrityupaita Chaitanya and Rajjupaita Chaitanya. Now Vrityupaita Chaitanya is replaced by Sakshi Chaitanya because we established we established that both are same. So by the method mentioned, Abhedaha, non-difference between the witness consciousness and the consciousness conditioned by the rope, Siddhaha is established. Uktaritya, by the method mentioned. Uktaritya means Kaya Ritya. The Sakshi Chaitanya Upadhi is Vritti. Rajju Upaita Chaitanya Upadhi is Rajju. And Vritti and Rajju, both of them which are Upadhi, are obtaining in one place. Then when the Upadhi are in one place, then Upahita are considered to be one. Based on that, Avedaha Siddhaha. Alright. Rajjupayita Chaitanyam cha Rajjugdanena Vabhasate. Now he brings to Rajjugdanam, he has to bring Rajjugdanena Sarpagdana should go. So therefore he says Rajjupayita Chaitanyam cha Rajjugdanena Vabhasate. The consciousness conditioned by the rope avabhasate shines by what? Rajjugdanena, by the rope knowledge. How? We have to supply avrana nivrutti dwara. So Rajjugdanam removes the avranam on Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam, and thereby Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam avabhasate. By Rajjugdanam means by Rajju Vritti, the avranam, the veiling factor on Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam is gone, and therefore Rajju Upahita Chaitanyam avabhasate. So by rope knowledge, the consciousness conditioned by the rope shines. And Rajjupayita Chaitanyad Apruthak Bhutam Sakshi Chaitanyam api Rajjugdanena Vabhasate. And both of them are one now. Therefore he says Rajjupayita Chaitanyad Apruthak Bhutam Sakshi Chaitanyam api. And even the witness consciousness, which is Apruthak Bhutam, non-separate from Rajjupayita Chaitanyam, the consciousness conditioned by the rope, that Sakshi Chaitanyam api, also there is a Kartrupadam, is Rajjugdanena Vabhasate. It shines by the rope knowledge. So what is the mechanism? By Rajjugdanam, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam shines. And Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam and Sakshi Avachaitanyam are one. Therefore when Rajju Avachinna Chaitanya shines, this Sakshi Chaitanya also shines. So Bhasate. Evam. Thus, Rajju Sakshatkara Samaye, at the time of the direct perception of the rope, Sarpagdana Bhuta Sakshi Chaitanyasya Bhanasatvat Tatra Kalpita Sarpagdanasya api Nivrittihi Sambhavati. So at the time of the direct perception of the rope, since there is Bhanasatvat, since there is cognition, shining of Sakshi Chaitanyam, the witness consciousness, which is Bhuta, which is in the form of the Adhishthanam, the basis of Sarpagdanam, the snake cognition. Means, since there is shining of Sakshi Chaitanyam, which is the Adhisthana of Sarpagdanam, at the time of Rajju Sakshatkara, therefore what? Tatra Kalpita Sarpagdanasya api Nivritti Sambhavati. Tatra means Sakshi Chaitanya. Therefore, the nivrittihi, removal, negation of kalpita sarpagdanam, the removal of the cognition of the superimposed snake. Kalpita can go with sarpa also, dhanam also. The removal of the superimposed snake. Where superimposed? Superimposed upon the Sakshi Chaitanya. But in fact, that dhanam is, kalpita should go more with the dhanam. Because Tatra refers to Sakshi Chaitanya. Sakshi Chaitanya Kalpita Sarpagdanam. Is it clear? Sakshi Chaitanya Kalpitam gives Sarpa or Sarpagdanam? Therefore, Kalpita word should be connected with Dhanam. Therefore, the removal of the snake cognition which is superimposed upon the witness consciousness, Sambhavati, is possible. पूर्व पक्षी बोलेगा मान गया I accept yeah. Because to ask questions also you have to understand, no? So he will not ask. All right. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.